Y'all gotta pick a side and pick it right now.
Jenard ain't gonna stop till he takes everything.
I believe you can win this war.
I want justice for my wife's murder.
Let's take Tommy fucking Egan down.
All right, let's go.
They're closing in.
Am I calling a favor?
What's up, ugly-ass niggas? This your boy J Miles, and I'm back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you think, but most importantly, make sure you share it with your ugly ass friends. Now on today's video, we got another Power Before Force video. This one right here is the who ends up on top video. Basically, I'm going to explain the characters that will end up on top when this thing is all said and done. Because as we know, this is the final episode coming up next Friday, right? So I guess you can tell by the thumbnail, think that you have an idea of who I am going with, but you might be surprised exactly how I bring it together and you know how these people could potentially end up on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, first and foremost, I want to give an apology, even though I know she'll never see this, but I want to give an apology to Shanti. I asked some kind of way I accidentally left her out of my characters predictions video. So I want to go ahead and address that now. I have her 100% surviving this series. And on top of that, remember we had a bunch of conversations on whether or not she's going to betray Tommy. And in my opinion, I'm going to go ahead and say she won. I'm going to say she won. Now, who knows? Maybe in the course of the rest of this week and early next week, I will see something else that changed my mind. You know, you got to stay tuned with the final predictions. But as of now, I think she won. And I'll go ahead and, you know, dig a little deeper on how she could potentially, you know, why wouldn't she? And, you know, the reason she doesn't really have a reason to. Now, first, let me go ahead and go to your boy, UglyAzzNiggaHTV Jenard. So we know Jenard has been ugly as hell for pretty much the entirety of this season, right? And I know a lot of y'all probably weren't happy to hear when I said Jenard will survive. Although so far in the comment section, nobody has really challenged it. But I'm telling you guys, I can feel it. They're writing his character similar to Dre and also similar to Detective Carter, people. So in my opinion, he's going to get the Detective Carter exit. That's what he's going to get. Not saying that he 100% is going to end up in jail. He could, but it also could end up with him maybe being forced into a rehab facility or something like that. Because we know he is as hell, you know, on drugs. So that's my opinion on him. Now, do I think he's going to be at the top, possibly controlling the drug trade, you know, being the head of it, of the, let's say they still got the coalition going on or something like that? Probably not, because I think he's a little too fucked up right now to be able to get this done. However, Shanti here, she has the brains, she has the experience, and she's gonna have the loyalty once she stands toe-to-toe behind Tommy. Now, the issue that could be facing, that Shanti could be facing, is this ugly ass nigga. I'm sorry. My bad, I didn't mean to say that, but this is the scene, so I guess I'll just go ahead and touch on that. You remember this scene where she approached Che and she had to deliver the money, right? So she delivered the money, and Che was shocked because it was a woman. Not just Che, if you can remember, Peter also was, making a little sort of a discrimination. He was shocked that a woman was able to operate an organization that big and powerful on her own. He was shocked that she was the head of that organization, right? The operation with the Viagra Triangle. So Che pretty much had the same thing going on. And remember what he said to her. He said the next time we do a drop, to make sure Tommy was with her, because he can't guarantee what he might do to her if she makes a mistake or something like that. And to me, and of course to a lot of other viewers, it seemed like he's a predator that's ugly as hell. Like Shanti might end up beating his ass and killing him next episode. That could be a possibility. But if I had to bet on who takes him out, it could be Shanti still. I'm going to say it's Shanti or Miguel. One of the two ends up taking out Che if he was to die, right? But you remember, she that's what she was facing when it came to that. And I think this moment here is what proved Shanti to be loyal to, and what really made her get some respect from Tommy. Because if you pay attention to the smirk he gave her, and of course he agreed with her that she was making the right move, to saying to wait and then figure out where Jenard and Diamond end up landing, and then you can get the drop on them and get it done easily. And it turned out it was, somewhat successful, because they didn't get the guy that they wanted to get, but hey, they did get the drop on them. They just so happened to accidentally get Diamond instead of Jenard. But either way, still all of them were able to go through there successfully. None of them ended up dying, and it still was a better move, because they just went through there recklessly. They could have gotten killed, because it could have been a trap for them. So next, before I close this out, as you see, I know you guys seen that I had your boy Vic in the thumbnail as well, right? Because I told you guys in the characters predictions, and I've been telling you guys throughout this season that I believe Vic will survive this season. I'm still sticking with it. He will end up on top as well. He will control a certain side. Shanti will control the other. Remember, before Tommy stepped foot in Chicago, it was the Flynn family handling, controlling the North, and the CBI and Miguel and them, they had their part. It was kind of, divided a little bit. So in this case, I think Vic and Shanti could end up splitting this thing. Shanti could end up gaining control of CBI, and Vic gets his own territory, that was originally belonged to the Flynn. And I think they're going to be able to possibly live in peace, at least, temporary peace. It's always drama when it comes to that game. But I want to point out something that both Vic and Shanti has in common, which is another reason I believe it will be these two that ends up on top. Something that Vic and Shanti has in common is they both have been underestimated the entire season. In fact, not just the entire season. They both have been underestimated throughout the series. Vic was looked at as the weakest Flynn, and that's the reason why Tommy kept allowing him to, stick around, because he looked at him as not a threat, right? He didn't see him as a threat. And of course, with Shanti being a woman, she experienced the same thing. They didn't look at her like when she was saying she's gonna hand off the money at first. Look how Miguel looked at her and stuff at first, because they're like, bruh, like, chill out, you stay in your place, you're a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of how, people kept giving her when it comes to her. But to be honest, a lot of the time she has been on point thus far. So I could absolutely see, you know, a storyline where, in all said and done, that the two that will be on top will be Vic and Shanti, and Jenard will be around, but I don't think he's going to be controlling things because of his drug problem. Or who knows, maybe he does become part of it because he remembers the promise that he made to his brother. But you know, Diamond's dying declaration was to, you know, not to get high again. So maybe he will honor that with his brother and get off it, and does become part of it. So Vic controls the north side like the Flynns originally did. Maybe Jenard remains the face of CBI, and Shanti gets the rest of the coalition. However, you know, it ends up falling, I just think these three are going to survive, and they're going to be the only ones among all the main characters that remain in Chicago. But y'all definitely let me know what y'all thinking up in these comment sections. Who do you see being on top? Could it be any of these three that I am mentioning, or could you see it being someone else? Let me know all of that and more in the comment sections. But like usual, if you're cool with me, fool with me, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. Most importantly, make sure you share it with your ugly ass friends. But until the next video, I'm out.